Mankato, I know right now you're starting to get some rain, even a little, like probably hear a little tiny hail going tick, tick, tick on the roof up there. Nothing severe in Mankato right now, but some heavy rain, a lot of cloud to ground lightning moving into the area. Something to watch out for. We're going to be keeping an eye on Mankato, St. Peter, New Ulm, but nothing severe in the Mankato area. Now we have one tornado warning, and that is this one right here for parts of Watonwan and Blue Earth County. This is in effect now until 6:30, so we have another half hour to go with a tornado warning in effect here for parts of southern Minnesota, and the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms basically right on through the evening, probably through 9, 10 o'clock tonight. So get your first alert weather app handy, keep it handy, because we could be talking about some pretty good thunderstorms here for quite a while. This is the tornado warning. Again, the area in question is basically Madelia down to back to a little east of St. James, down to Louisville, and then east toward Amboy and Good Thunder. And this area right now, the area of primary concern, mainly south of Madelia. If you are in that area, get yourself to a safe place, because we've had reports of tornadoes touching down in this particular area. They've kind of been up and down a little bit here over the last little while, but definitely potential there for tornadoes on the ground. And something that we're going to start to see a little more of is more rain kind of mixing into that situation. And when you get more rain, you just see the rain, and it's hard to actually see the tornado. Oh, we have a new tornado warning, and I hear the weather apps beeping. Tornado warning now in effect for Mankato, North Mankato. Sirens, I believe, are being activated as we speak. If you are in Mankato, this one is close to town already. Get to the basement now. Going to get a little more detail on this particular storm here. This is a radar-indicated tornado. Potential there for a tornado right over North Mankato and Mankato. So again, if you are in Mankato, North Mankato, this is brand new. Get to the basement. This kind of popped up here very quickly in just the last little while, starting to see some of this rotation right kind of in here is the area of concern. Again, brand new tornado warning, Mankato, North Mankato area included. If you are in Mankato, North Mankato, get to your safe place, get to your basement, get to where you need to go now. Starting to see some very rapidly developing rotation over the Mankato area. Not a confirmed tornado at this point, but it is possible that a tornado could develop at just about any moment here. So get to your safe place ASAP. Again, we have a tornado warning in effect for Mankato, North Mankato. This is in effect until 6:30 p.m. Sirens are sounding. That means it is time to get to your safe place. The area we are kind of talking about here is that area right near Mankato, North Mankato, that is moving through. So again, brand new tornado warning for the Mankato area. This one is in effect until 6:30. We have another tornado warning that's in effect just to the south, and this one has produced tornadoes. This one does have a history of producing tornadoes, and Madelia, Louisville area, that is the area impacted. And again, this area right in here, that's kind of the area we're concerned with. Get to a safe place and get to the basement. Right now, brand new tornado warning, as we've been talking, for the Mankato, North Mankato area. We've just in the last little while had some rotation very, very rapidly developing over a little north, I think, and west of North Mankato and moving into town. It's not confirmed at this point, but this is some pretty good rotation, and the potential is there for a tornado to drop at any given moment. So get to your safe place now, because this is a pretty dangerous, fairly serious situation. Mitch, do you have anything new here for us? Mitch Keegan is here. Of course, Mitch, one of our meteorologists here at KEYC. Again, I know this is it's kind of a sudden development here, but folks in Mankato and North Mankato, tornado warning in effect. Sirens are sounding. Get yourself to the basement now. We have a a storm that's really kind of rapidly developed in the last 5 to 10 minutes that is producing some fairly significant rotation right over the top of the Mankato area now. So that warning in effect from now until 6:30. Let's get in just a little closer here, and you can see as we look at what we call velocity. This is the wind. This is the mode of radar that determines the wind. And what we're looking for is red and green close together. And we do have several areas here along this line where we have some potential rotation. So this is a dangerous storm, and with the history that this line of thunderstorms has had actually producing tornadoes, especially the ones down by St. James, this is nothing to mess with. Get to a safe place, get to where you need to be here this evening. We are tracking severe storms. We have a couple of tornado warnings in effect, a tornado watch that is in effect. It includes the Mankato, North Mankato area as well. Here you go. These are the watches that are, or the warnings that we have in effect right now. A tornado warning in effect for Blue Earth and Nicollet County until 6:30. We have another one that is in effect for St. James, parts of Blue Earth and Watonwan County. That one also in effect until 6:30 this evening. We've had reports of a tornado on the ground near St. James and now south of Madelia with that particular storm. No reports of tornadoes with the storm near Mankato, but we definitely have the potential there for tornadoes to develop quickly. This is a live view, by the way, from our camera. It is really, really raining. Let me see if I can get this windshield wiper to work on this camera, but by Louisville we have a pretty extreme lowering there. I can't really see a tornado touching down, but this is definitely a dangerous and menacing looking storm that we have moving through here down by Louisville. If you are in the Louisville area, get to a safe place. Here in Mankato, North Mankato, I'm going to pop up our camera that's up on the hilltop and see what we can see here. And you can see a lot of heavy rain. We have some rotation located within this particular storm as well, and a tornado warning that is in effect for the Mankato, North Mankato area. If you are in Mankato, North Mankato, right now is the time to get to your safe place. This one kind of snuck up on us. There wasn't a lot of rotation with this storm initially, but just as we saw with the storm around St. James, this thing developed and really evolved quickly. And you can see a lot of rain pushing through here on our camera up on the hilltop. We do not have any reports of a confirmed tornado, but with all this rain, it's really hard to tell. So just do the safe thing, get to your basement, get to your safe place until this particular storm passes. Again, this tornado warning is in effect for Mankato, North Mankato, for Blue Earth County until 6:30 this evening. You can see right here it is with the heaviest rain now located. I went the wrong way there. There you go, over the Mankato area. And the rotation now, the primary area of rotation is actually going to be right through here. Mankato, probably a little more to the south and eastern edge of Mankato, moving towards St. Clair, eventually Pemberton, Jamesville. Here eventually we'll start to see some of that moving your way. But the storm is going to continue to push off to the southeast here as we make our way into the afternoon. So these are the areas we're talking about, Mankato and to the southeast. This area right through here, that is the primary area, I think, that where we could possibly see that tornado. That's where most of the rotation is now. Lake Crystal, you're in pretty good shape. North and west of the Mankato area, just some rain moving through now. Not much going on there, but in Mankato and to the south and east of Mankato, that's the area that we are now watching for that potential tornado. Again, we had tornadoes that have been produced by this line of thunderstorms, so that is something we're going to watch closely. Let me take our storm tracker here. I just want to kind of give you an idea as to how and where this is going. If you are near Terrace View Golf Course, we're looking at 6:09. Now, these are approximate, give or take a minute or two with these because the storms can speed up and slow down a little bit. St. Clair, 6:21. McPherson at 6:26. Jamesville, 6:34. Pemberton, We're talking around 6:39 is when this storm is going to be here. That's when the main area of rotation is going to be in your neck of the woods. So there's some times for you, just something to keep in mind as that storm continues to move off to the southeast. But again, if you are in any of these areas, if you are in the Mankato area, get yourself to your safe place now. Rotation has been detected. No confirmed tornado, but it's possible that a tornado could develop at just about any time here. And as we've seen through the afternoon, these storms develop very quickly, and they go from just a general thunderstorm to a potentially tornado-producing thunderstorm in a very short amount of time. So that's going to be the case here as we make our way into the next few minutes. Both of these warnings remain in effect until 6:30 this evening. As you can see here, we have another one to the south and west. Tornado warning in effect for parts of Blue Earth and Watonwan County. This is the one near Louisville. This one is in effect until 6:30 as well and has a history of producing tornadoes. If you are in this warning, which is in Louisville, Lake Crystal, get yourself to a safe place because this storm has produced tornadoes. And we continue to see some good signs of rotation in here. You see that right there. That's an area where we potentially do have some good rotation. In fact, I'm going to go back to our camera in Louisville to see what we can see here. Looks like some of that heavy rain has passed by. You find my, I don't think that's the right, go here. And, yep. And then I might have a drop down here that says go east. And that might change the, there you go. And you can kind of base it from there. But you can see that there's a pretty good area of lowering there with some heavy rain. In the Louisville area there, so can't quite see, and there you go. There could be a tornado in there, but we just can't see it because there's so much rain, and that happens quite often with storms like this, and folks like to get out and look around and see what's going on, and can't see anything because there's a lot of rain, and that's definitely the case with this thunderstorm here, but we do have the rotation, and this one has history of producing tornadoes. So Louisville area, get to a safe place, especially if you're kind of in between there and Madelia. This storm, still a tornado warning in effect. Potential is definitely there for a tornado. Let's go back to the Mankato, North Mankato area and talk about this storm here. Tornado warning remains in effect for parts of Blue Earth County, including Mankato, St. Clair, the Jamesville area not quite included, but might not be long before we start to see this storm push off to the southeast. And we are dealing with a good area of rotation right through here. In fact, this whole area right through here, it's possible that we could have a tornado or a spin up there. So south and east of Mankato, St. Clair, Jamesville, the Pemberton area here eventually, that's the area we're kind of concentrating on for the Mankato area for this particular warning. Let me get our storm tracker out one more time and kind of talk about the leading edge of this and the strongest part of this particular storm. It's going to continue to move off to the southeast. St. Clair, if it keeps moving like it is, we're talking 614, McPherson 618, 629 in Pemberton. Now, Pemberton, you're not in the warning technically. You're right on the edge, but this is heading right toward you, and if this thing holds together, they will issue another warning that will include you. And I can hear at the TV station, we got sounds like we have some hail going on, Mitch, outside here at the TV station. So some very heavy rain, some hail in the Mankato, North Mankato area right now. Tornado warning remains in effect. We do not have a confirmed tornado, but that's going to be a hard thing to do because it's raining heavily. So it's hard to see a tornado in conditions like this, but definitely possible that there is a tornado in the middle of all of that very, very heavy rain. So keep that in mind. 2 tornado warnings in effect. One for Blue Earth County. We have another one that's in effect for parts of Blue Earth County and for Watonwan County. And both of these in effect until 6:30 tonight. If you are in either of these, get to a safe place. The siren sounded in North Mankato just a short while ago. Heavy rain is now coming down, and we're going to continue to see that here for a while. For the rest of the region, We have a tornado watch, remains in effect until midnight tonight, including a good chunk of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, Mankato, Waseca, Windham, Fairmont, all included in this tornado watch. Rochester, Albert Lee, Mason City. Strong storms will continue to be possible here as we make our way through the rest of the afternoon. But for now, let's quickly kind of recap. If anyone is just joining in, Stacy and Dion are sitting so patiently over there at the news desk, just waiting for the news. No, I don't think they're going to put you on. I scared them. But we do have some strong thunderstorms, a whole line of thunderstorms that has been kind of moving through as we've made our way through the afternoon, from the Twin Cities through New Prague, all the way down through Mankato. Now southeast of Windham, we're seeing a few more storms beginning to develop. And these storms have developed rather quickly. And what's happened is, as they've kind of moved into a more unstable meteorological environment, we've started to see more rotation, more energy in these storms. And they have produced tornadoes. We've had confirmed tornadoes down around the St. James area. We have the Mankato area. Yeah, Mitch.
There's been a report of a funnel with the Mankato storm.
Oh, okay. Did they say exactly where? Mitch Keegan saying there has been a report of a funnel with the storm in Mankato. So funnel cloud with that storm in Mankato. And again, at this point, it's really hard to see because there's a lot of rain kind of messing up things. And when you go outside, all you can see is the rain. And they call these rain-wrapped tornadoes because they're wrapped up in rain. And that's something we have going on here in the Mankato area now. The majority of the rotation starting at this point to move to the south and east of the Mankato area. In fact, you might have just noticed that watch box or that polygon has moved just a wee little bit here around the Mankato area. And with that happening, most of North Mankato has now actually been pulled out of this tornado warning. Still raining quite heavily in North Mankato, but the warning has been shrunk just a little bit off to the east here. Mankato, city of Mankato, and everything to the southeast still in this warning. St. Clair, eventually Pemberton. We may see this extended over toward Jamesville here in the next little while. This area right here is that's the area I am most concerned with at this point. That's the area most likely to have a tornado, especially right in this area here. That's something we're going to continue to watch here for the next little while. This warning in effect for parts of Blue Earth County until 6:30. Eagle Lake included in there. Again, St. Clair also included. If you are in Eagle Lake, get to a safe place. It's kind of right over the top of you now if you're in Eagle Lake. Right now, things aren't so bad in Lake Crystal, getting some heavy rain. We may see a little rotation down toward the Good Thunder area. That's another area we're going to be kind of keeping a close eye on here for the next little while, down in Good Thunder. And then let's go back to the south again, where we still have this tornado warning in effect for parts of Blue Earth and Watonwan County. This one also until 6:30. And this particular storm has had a history of producing tornadoes. We have had a couple of reports of tornadoes, and right now, looks like the best rotation that we have is right through here east of Louisville, kind of moving toward Amboy. I know Amboy, there's no warning in effect for you quite yet, but stay on guard. Keep that First Alert Weather app handy because things could be rocking and rolling your way here in the next little while. I'm trying to look for a few other areas. I don't really see anything. Yeah, go ahead, Mitch.
From that tornado warning that was in effect for North Mankato and Mankato. And that warning, though, does include Mankato through Eagle Lake, St. Clair. That is officially continuing here until 6:30. So that's the latest update they just provided.
Perfect. And yeah, there is still a good amount of rotation. It's starting to kind of spread out a little bit, and we may be getting to a point where wind gusts definitely, but there is still a bit of rotation here east of Eagle Lake, kind of west of the Jamesville area, St. Clair. We have a pretty good area there. If you're in St. Clair, you should be in your safe place into a shelter now because, again, what we look for when we're looking at this weird red and green thingy that we put up on TV, this is called velocity, and this is basically Doppler's wind mode. Most of the time when you're looking at the radar, when you're looking at this, for example, that's rain. That is precipitation that's coming down. But this mode here is the wind mode, and what we're looking for is we're looking for colors. Anything green is air moving toward the radar, and the radar's in the Twin Cities, and so it's up here to the north. And anything moving red is moving away. And when you get the green and the red close together, that's this. And that is rotation, and that's what makes a tornado. So that's what we are watching for here this afternoon. And we've seen a lot of this where the red and green come together. St. Clair, that particular area, be ready right now, because if you're in St. Clair, there's a pretty good chance that something nasty is moving along there. I'm not saying that it is a tornado on the ground. I don't have a confirmation of that, but it is very, very possible that there is a tornado on the ground or developing, imminent, could develop at any time. So just be ready. This one also is looking a little more intense here to me. If you are east of Louisville, I don't know if, let me pop this Louisville camera up here. This is a pretty good, what we look for here with this. I had the arrow the wrong way here with this and this. Again, a little indication there that there could be another tornado with this particular storm to the west of Amboy, just north of Minnesota Highway 30. If you are in this area here, tornado is possible, and this particular storm has a history. This one has produced tornadoes up around St. James, and so if you are in this area, get to a safe place, be paying attention, and be ready to move, because stuff could develop very, very quickly. We are covering severe weather here on KEYC, and we have tornado warnings that are in effect for the Mankato area, northern and northeastern Blue Earth County, and for far eastern Watonwan County, but now more so southwestern to south central Blue Earth County in southern south central Minnesota, with a line of thunderstorms that's been moving across the region here throughout much of the afternoon. Everything continues to push off to the southeast and will continue to do so this evening, but we're not necessarily done yet. We have a tornado watch that is also in effect for a good chunk of southern Minnesota. So Mankato, Fairmont, Blue Earth, Algona, Mason City, Albert Lee, Waseca, all included in a tornado watch here until midnight tonight. It'll probably expire or be whittled away before that, but for now, this thing is in effect until midnight tonight. And one of the issues here, check out the temperature. We have an incredible range. We're at 61 in Glencoe. It's 87 in Estherville, Iowa, 88 in Jackson. And when you have a line, even notice the difference in temperature from Fairmont and Jackson to St. James. You go Minnesota Highway 60 down to I-90, and you're adding 10 plus degrees. When you get a temperature change like that, you know how we always say hot and cold air coming together, that's trouble? Well, it's trouble, and that's exactly what we have going on here this afternoon. We have Jackson to Estherville to Fairmont with temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s, while up in New Ulm and Redwood Falls, we are in the 60s. And when you get that kind of a situation, plus we have spin in the atmosphere today, when you get all that, we're going to have something, and we definitely have some wild weather happening right now. Let's go back to our live Doppler. Showers and thunderstorms basically from the Twin Cities all the way through Mankato down toward north and west of Fairmont. We have more cells kind of developing. And that's another thing I want to mention here. We do watch storms developing down on the end of this line, and we may see more storms develop here, and those will likely also become severe, anything that develops to the southwest. And so we are going to be watching those areas very closely as well. 2 tornado warnings. First one in effect for Mankato, north central and northeastern Blue Earth County. This tornado warning is in effect until 6:30 tonight, and it includes Eagle Lake, Mankato, although the majority of the threat at this point has pushed to the southeast of Mankato with this particular storm, I should say. I'm not saying that Mankato's done for the night, but this particular storm, the biggest threat, has now pushed off to our southeast, kind of moving over toward Jamesville, and will eventually be moving into Waseca County. Further to the south, we have another warning that remains in effect until 6:30 as well. This one for parts of, far eastern Watonwan, but you're done there. But southwestern Blue Earth also in effect here until 6:30. The storm is now starting to move outside of that polygon, so we'll see here in the next little while if the National Weather Service decides to re-up this or if they're going to let it roll. No updates on that, yeah? All right. So again, if you're in the Mankato area, especially east over toward Eagle Lake, that tornado warning remains in effect, and there is some rotation with this storm still. We've had confirmation of a funnel cloud with this particular storm, and we do have, we're getting a little closer, a good amount of potential rotation with this thunderstorm. It's a little broader right now than it was earlier. Maybe a little less likely for a tornado, but I'd say don't let your guard down at this point, because what happens is we'll start to see things weaken and kind of let up a little bit, and then all of a sudden things will redevelop. Okay, brand new warning. We just had a reissue, or I would say an extension of this tornado warning now in effect for Waseca County, Pemberton, Waseca, Waldorf, all included in this tornado warning. And this is going to remain in effect here. Let me turn my little flag on up here until 6:45. Janesville, St. Clair, Waseca, and Woodville. And again, sometimes these towns pop up and most folks like me go, what the heck is Woodville? Well, if you're close to Woodville, you know exactly what we're talking about. And you're the ones who are trying to get to the safe place. And so it's important to have that on there. But the storm continues to push to the southeast. With that extended tornado warning now into Waseca County. And I'm guessing in Waseca, with you being right in the edge of that, your sirens may be going off right now. Be on guard, be prepared, keep the KEYC First Alert Weather app handy, because these things can change. They can switch direction up a little bit, and things can get a little they can change. So be on the alert, be prepared. Even though you're on the very edge of that warning, doesn't mean you're in better shape than everyone else. So we're going to be watching this thing fairly closely here as we make our way into the next half hour or so. We do have an update on this one as well. This tornado warning has been extended as well. Amboy, you are in the middle of this. In fact, if you are in Amboy, get yourself to a safe place immediately. Tornado warning is in effect until 6:45. We have rotation moving toward you. This is, again, a radar-indicated tornado. However, this storm has a history of producing tornadoes. Tornadoes have been reported on the ground with this particular storm. So if you are in the Amboy area, get yourself to a safe place. I notice here in Mankato, the sirens are sounding again. Mitch, would this be because of that warning?
Because of the extension, it's kind of an unfortunate thing when there's a warning for anywhere in the county. The sirens sound anywhere in the county.
I thought they were going to change that.
Yeah, I did too.
All right. Well, I would tell you what, if you are in, there's still a tornado warning for Mankato. North Mankato, there is not a tornado warning at this time. But we'll keep you posted. But the most serious part of this storm is actually further off to the east.
Officially, there is no warning for the city of North Mankato.
Yes, no warning for the city of North Mankato. What we're really watching is this part of the storm right here, which is kind of right along Highway 22, Jamesville area. This is going to be moving into your neck of the woods here shortly, all the way down to 22 Waldorf. You are in this tornado warning as well. They really need to get that fixed, because I don't like that so much. As we make our way south, this storm down here around Amboy. If you are in Amboy, get yourself to a safe place. We have a good amount of rotation with this particular storm. Again, the bulletin from the National Weather Service says that this is a radar-indicated tornado, but if you are, this storm has a history of producing tornadoes. So if you are in the path of this storm, get to a safe place now. Emily Merz is here. Hey, Emily, what do you got?
Hey, Sean. Just a really quick update. The tornado warning for Blue Earth has now been expired. So
is that the northern Blue Earth, the Mankato one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
It has been expired, so we should be in the clear now in Mankato at least.
All right. Well,
and I would think that they will stop sounding the sirens here pretty soon.
Well, I think the siren is because of that extension over by Waseca right now, and that's fine. But if you ever think that you are in danger, get yourself to a safe place no matter what. That's the best way to operate with a situation like this. But again, Amboy, if you're in Amboy right now, get to a safe place. We have a nasty storm moving into your neck of the woods now. We also have a brand new tornado warning, which is an extension of the one for Mankato. We have that tornado warning in effect for parts of Waseca County now. Waseca included, Waldorf also included in this as well. So something to keep in mind here as we make our way into the evening hours. If you are just joining us, we are on the air tracking storms. We have tornado warnings in effect for portions of southwestern Minnesota, including the Mankato area, which actually those have just been allowed to expire, but parts of eastern Blue Earth County, central western Waseca County, and then southern Blue Earth County. And the Amboy area in particular is, I think, one of the areas I'm more so concerned with right now. This is a pretty nasty storm that's moving into the Amboy area. You can see here, this one's 6:45 for parts of Blue Earth and northern Faribault County until 6:45 this evening as well. I have Mitch Keegan here with me. Emily Mers is here in the studio with me as well to help keep an eye on these storms as they continue to move through. Apologies to Stacy and Dion, who are here all ready to go with our 6 o'clock newscast. I know they have a lot of news to get to as well, and they'll have updates at KEYC.com. And most of these will be out of here by about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, so we can catch all of our headlines coming up then. But we have to keep folks in the know about these storms. There's some pretty nasty ones here. This one, tornado warning in effect for the Amboy area. That remains in effect until 6:45, and then we have another one that was issued just a short while ago as well for parts of Waseca County, and this one actually includes Waseca, and it remains in effect until 6:45 this evening. And on top of all that, we have a tornado watch that's in effect for a good chunk of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa until midnight tonight. We'll probably see a lot of that whittled away before then, but for now, this whole thing is in effect until midnight tonight. What you got? By Amboy? Yeah, that's, I'm going to go back to talk about this Amboy storm, and Emily had a couple of, go ahead, Emily. I know that you've been kind of talking about this a little bit, but this is, if you are in Amboy, we said it just a moment ago, this is a dangerous storm. I don't know that I have confirmation of a tornado on the ground at this point, but if you are in Amboy, get to safety. This storm is really looking concerning on the radar, and with the history of this storm producing tornadoes. Emily, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely that storm in the science world looks pretty good, I guess, in our opinion, as far as what we're looking for confirmation of a tornado. So again, this has not been officially confirmed. This storm does have history of producing tornadoes that were reported as funnel clouds earlier in this evening. But as of now, again, this is not a confirmed tornado, but a lot of the elements are in place on our radar that indicate that this could be at least a very fast spinning storm, a very compact type of storm. So even if it's not necessarily touching the ground at this point, it definitely could be kicking up some debris in some areas. So definitely important to be taking that safe place. And another important thing to mention with this storm in particular, the way this is moving across kind of as a line, we're seeing things spinning up fairly quickly, and it is also some very heavy rain involved with this too. So this is not the type of storm that you'll be able to look out your window and see. It's going to be wrapped in rain. It's going to kind of come out of nowhere essentially. So this is the type of storm that, I mean, of course you never want to be outside in this type of storm, but particularly this one is not one that you should be going out and trying to look at, because you're not going to see it. You're just going to be seeing a bunch of rain.
Right. And just for folks who may be kind of ahead of this line of thunderstorms, if you are kind of waiting to see what to expect here in the next little while, we are going to see this continue to move off to the southeast. And again, it's moving at around 20 to 30 or so miles per hour, but Owatonna, 648, Blue Earth, 704, Albert Lee, 747. That's kind of what we're expecting here time-wise. And so this is going to continue to move off to the southeast over the next little while, and it will be moving, again, at around 25 or so miles per hour. But if you're ahead of this storm, now is the time to get prepared, because not only is this potentially producing tornadoes, but there's a lot of heavy rain and some dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning with these particular storms as well. Let me get back to this one. Want to talk a little more about the storm in the Mankato area, Jamesville, Waseca, Waldorf area, all with a tornado warning that's in effect. Emily, you got some new info?
Yes, they have now confirmed the tornado that is near Amboy at this time. It has just come in, a confirmed tornado located over Amboy, or 21 miles southwest of Mankato, moving east at 20 miles an hour. Again, this is a damaging tornado potentially with quarter-size hail.
So if you are in Amboy, this area right through here, this is what we've been talking about here for the last little while. That's where we kind of been watching that potential rotation on the radar. If you are in Amboy, now is the time to get to your safe place. 169, Minnesota 30, that whole area right through here, that's where we potentially have a tornado. Well, we don't potentially. We actually have a tornado that is reported on the ground.
And they also highlighted 3 miles north of Winnebago. So
all right.
Probably a little bit further south of Amboy, but it also does highlight on here.
Right on the county line.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things that I was kind of looking at here is this too. Once in a while when you see a bit of a hole in the radar, that's a good indicator of where the rotation might be. So generally this area right through here, rural areas, northern Faribault County on 169, from about Amboy to the south in Blue Earth County on 169. That is the primary area of impact here with this storm. And this is the time that you got to do what we've been talking about since the beginning of severe weather season, and that is get to your safe place where you need to go, because this is one of those instances where we now have a dangerous tornado that is on the ground near Amboy. The city of Amboy, you're not out of the woods. It's looking like the majority of the rotation may be a little further south of you, but if you are in Amboy, you are still in danger. You should stay in your safe place until this thing passes. Really, from Amboy south, 169, all the way into northern Faribault County, that is the area that we are primarily concerned with at this point. And if you are in any of these areas, I know a lot of farms and rural areas here, get to your basement, get to your safe place, your storm shelter, wherever you need to go to be safe, because again, there is a potential large tornado on the ground near Amboy, and that's going to be moving southeastward at about 25-ish or so miles per hour here over the next little while. So just to kind of give you an idea as to, let me try this again here, where this is going to go. Let me use my storm tracker, and the area of greatest rotation is going to be moving toward, well, I guess Delavan, one of the only spots there, but Winnebago, it's going to be fairly close to you, but Delavan at about 656. Let me try to expand this out just a little bit here. We're talking, oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. That, let me go back here and pull this back up again. I do want to just mention too, we have one little thunderstorm moving into the Fairmont area, not severe yet, but definitely something that we will be watching here for those of you who are watching in Fairmont and wondering what's going on. Okay, let me go back to this one here. You can see this area of rotation that we're talking about right here. This is it, and this is what we have been concerned with near Amboy, south and east of Amboy. You get those greens and those reds close together on this velocity that we look at. And brand new tornado warning now just issued, and that is for northern Faribault County, right in line with this rotation that's happening here. And this one does include Winnebago, Minnesota Lake, a little place down there called Barber included in this as well, right along Minnesota 109 here, and that is this area of rotation that we've been talking about for the last little while, right through here. And let me just get some updated stats on this for you. So this is for northwestern Faribault County. This will remain in effect here until 7 p.m. Winnebago is included. And this is, they're now saying a funnel cloud, but we have had reports of a tornado with this particular storm. And one of the things that will happen with a storm like this is that we'll see a tornado develop. It's basically called a cycle that it goes through. So a tornado will develop, it will touch the ground, it will stay on the ground and move along for a little while. It will kind of almost wrap itself out. The tornado will lift off the ground, and then that whole process starts over again, and we get another tornado that develops. And so there are breaks, there are ebbs and flows in this, but the history is, with this particular cell, that there have been multiple tornadoes that have touched the ground. So right now, Winnebago, just north and east of Winnebago, we have Mapleton here. It's south of Mapleton, south of Amboy at this point. This area right in here, tornado is likely now, and this is going to continue to push off to the southeast here over the next little while. So let's go north. I do want to talk about this other cell here. We are continuing to watch this particular storm. This is also a dangerous storm. We have a tornado warning that remains in effect here for parts of Waseca County and far eastern Blue Earth County. This one remains in effect. Let me pop up the stats, the deets on this one until 6:45, and this one also includes the city of Waseca. This remains in again until about 6:45. This one, a radar indicated tornado, but there is a significant amount of rotation indicated with this one as well. So not something to take lightly. If you are in this area from Waseca to Pemberton down to Waldorf, eventually Otsego, New Richland going to be in this as well. If you are in these areas, get to your safe place and get to the basement, because these storms are nothing to mess with. They have a history of producing tornadoes, and seeing another one drop down out of these storms, certainly a possibility, if not a likelihood here over the next little while. And again, you can see the sharp contrast in color that we have here, right through here. I mean, this is whatever's going on here. If it's not a tornado on the ground, there could be some nasty wind that can do some damage with this particular storm as well. But there is definitely some rotation going on here. Brand new tornado warning just issued. You saw it pop up there on the screen. This one also includes Waseca, and that is for this area here, especially right through here. Yeah, go ahead, Mitch.
National Weather Service is reporting a large tornado on the ground 3 miles south of Jamesville.
Okay, that would be this. That would be this right here. A large tornado on the ground 3 miles south of Jamesville. If you are near Jamesville right now, south of Jamesville, get yourself to a safe place. St. Mary, spot there on the map. If you are near St. Mary, this is heading right toward you. Wilton, the Waseca area, you are a little north of the main rotation at this point. However, these can change a little bit. So don't let your guard down. Keep your First Alert weather app handy. Keep your TV on. Stay with us, because we will be here to let you know what's going on. But again, large damaging tornado now on the ground right here, southeast of Elton, south of Janesville, about 3 miles south of Janesville. A brand new tornado warning has been issued for this particular cell right here. Again, if you are in this area, get to your basement, get someplace safe right now. A large damaging tornado is on the ground, and that's not a good thing. We have Mitch Keegan here, Emily Mers is here. Starting to see a little bit of, there's another radar thing that we look at sometimes that tracks debris, and that we're starting to see some signs there. So that's an indication that this tornado is on the ground and it is picking up dirt, dust, or whatever is in its path. So if you are here, right here, this is the area right now of primary concern. We have a tornado warning for a potential large damaging tornado about 3 miles south, probably now a little southeast of the Janesville area. St. Mary, Wilton, you see here on the map, Otsego.
And they just extended that warning as well with the addition of the confirmation of the tornado included in the warning. That one, again, this is near Janesville, moving east at 20 miles an hour. Weather spotters did confirm a large tornado 3 miles south of Janesville. And again, this will be near Waseca around 6:50. So that's just in a couple of minutes. So if you're downstream of this, definitely time to be making it to that safe place. Definitely important to be keeping an eye on these alerts as they continue happening, and make your way to your safe place. And Sean's probably talked about this already, but basement, ideally, if you live in a mobile home or manufactured home, you'll want to get out of it. Find a sturdy building nearby. That is going to be the safest place for you. If you're in an apartment building, something like that, make it to the lowest level of that building and get into an interior room. So usually underneath a stairwell is a good option, or in a smaller closet, bathroom, things like that.
Yeah. So a lot of these towns that are popping up here are, I'm not even familiar with a lot of these, but I know if you live there, you know what I'm talking about. But this storm, and this is basically this whole massive storm that's moving to the east here. Again, the tornado is right here in the St. Mary area right now, and that's where we do have a large damaging tornado on the ground. But this line moving east, St. Mary 642, which is basically now, I think it is 640, it's 642. Waseca 651, Vista 702, Lemond at 709, Berlin at 721, Somerset at 727. If you're in these neighborhoods or at these little intersections or these little communities that are out in the country here, be prepared and get ready, because this storm is moving in. Again, this is all moving to the east at around 25-ish or so miles per hour. And again, if you're just joining us, a large damaging tornado on the ground south and east of Jamesville, right around St. Mary now. And this is the area of primary concern at this point. For those of you to the south, we do have another tornado warning that's also in effect, and this one is for Faribault County until 7 p.m. We have also had confirmed tornado with this particular storm as well, and right through here, this is the area we're most concerned with. This continues to push off to the southeast as well. Minnesota Lake, you are in this warning. Not quite to Wells yet, but we're not far off from the Wells area either. So if you are on Wells, be on standby. Have your First Alert weather app handy. Keep your TV on so you know what's going on here, and just stay on top of the situation, because things are moving your way, and if these storms hold together, there could be trouble for you as well. Up the road here, we do have showers and thunderstorms that are basically hanging out all the way from the Twin Cities into south central Minnesota, but just a couple of storms with tornado warnings on them now. One in Waseca into Steele County, the second from Blue Earth into northern Faribault County, and both of these warnings remain in effect until about 7 o'clock tonight. And we do have a confirmed large, dangerous, damaging tornado on the ground with this storm in Waseca County right now, south and east of Jamesville in the St. Mary area. I know that's not a big town, just a little intersection type place, but if you are here, get to a safe place, because this is a dangerous storm. The radar imagery was concerning for a while with this, and then we did get reports that there are confirmed tornadoes with this particular storm. So
I was just going to say, for those wondering, that area is not too terribly far away from where Farm America is. So I'm sure you've ever driven down Highway 14, you've seen the signs for Farm America. That's kind of the general area that we're talking about between Janesville and Waseca off the new highway there. But that kind of give you a general idea of where we're talking about.
So, and this is going to continue off to the southeast here. Yep. So areas near and west of, you think that far north?
I think there's a little bit of a delay on it, but
okay.
I think so.
But we
and it
definitely
is saying it's lofting pretty high too, so.
So it is. Oh yeah. So this is actually. We have some pretty powerful updrafts with these storms. So what it's going to do, it's going to pick up a lot of debris, and it's going to send them. It's going to send it fairly high in the air, and we are getting some returns that are showing that. So again, this is a serious situation, folks. If you are in the St. Mary area, even heading toward Otsego, is that how you say it, Mitch?
Otisco.
Oh, sorry, Otisco. Otisco. That's another one I haven't been all that familiar with. New Richland area, Lemond, all the way over to Ellendale. This is going to continue to push off to the southeast, and we have a pretty significant indication here that there is rotation. We're starting to see confirmation on radar that there may be debris with this particular storm as well. Now, we're talking about St. Mary. If you are in Waseca, doesn't mean you're completely in the clear. You are still in this tornado warning, and there's still a lot of dangerous storm in and around your area as well. So if you are in Waseca, be on the standby, be ready to move. We're going to be here to let you know if you need to do anything. But right now, St. Mary, Otisco, and down the road here from Minnesota Highway, kind of along Minnesota Highway 13. If you're really on 13 between Waseca and New Richland, you need to be at the ready because this is heading your way and it's going to be there fairly shortly. We also have this other tornado warning down to the south. We are tracking this particular storm right now that is in northern Faribault County. Again, we have some good indicators here with our velocity mode that there is some pretty nasty stuff going on in this general vicinity as well. So again, if you are in this area east of Winnebago, west of Minnesota Lake, south of Mapleton, get to your safe place because this storm also has a history of producing tornadoes that have been on the ground, especially up towards St. James area. So, and we have not at this point received any reports of damage or anything like that with these storms, something our newsroom will definitely be checking on here over the next little while. Here you go. St. Mary right now. Emily, take a look at that. That's an area right in here where I think we have some pretty good rotation. We've had confirmation that there is a large damaging tornado on the ground. So I'm telling you, if you are in this area, east to Minnesota Highway 13, get to your basement, get to your safe place. This is a dangerous storm. This is a tornado that is on the ground, is doing damage. If you are in this area, you are in grave danger right now. So get to your safe place. As the storm continues to move to the east, tornado warning does continue and remains in effect here for the next 10, 15 minutes or so. St. Mary area, that's where we have a tornado warning and the likelihood of a tornado that is on the ground. And there's a good chance if you are out and about, you won't see it because it's going to be rain wrapped. So don't be looking for it. Don't wait to see it to take shelter because it could be too late. These things have been rain wrapped, and depending on where you are, this could be very, very difficult for you to see. So don't be waiting around for this. Just get to your safe place. But this storm is going to continue to push off to the east. Waseca, you are included. Otisco also in this tornado warning that remains in effect here for about the next 12 minutes or so. But this is one of those tornado warnings. You know, we have ones where their Doppler radar indicated, and then we have the serious ones where a tornado has been observed. And this is that. We have had tornadoes confirmed by spotters with this particular storm. Emily, do you have anything you want to throw in here?
Yeah, another thing really worth mentioning is if you're driving along Highway 14, whether you're heading east or west, it's going to be a little bit further south of you. But keep in mind that debris is still a concern, even if you are not necessarily in a direct path of this tornado. And with the potential for some debris being indicated with this storm, if you're driving, now is the time to not be driving anymore if you were going to be in that area. But keep in mind, underneath bridges is not where you need to go. Even if you are encountering hail and things like that, it is not safe to be underneath bridges and overpasses. So that is not a good idea if you're in your car. If you're in the path of this, more so Highway 13 heading north or south, get out of your car, find a ditch. If you're in the direct path of this tornado, you do not, again, want to be under a bridge or an overpass for this type of situation.
No, it's weird. If you're under a bridge or an overpass and a tornado goes over the top, it actually creates a vacuum underneath and you can get sucked right out from under there, and that's not a good thing. So definitely not the place to go. So here you are, tornado warning. We have two warnings in effect. This one in effect for parts of Waseca and Steele counties. This one remains in effect until 7:15. Ellendale, Meriden, Waseca, Woodville included in this, and we have a confirmed potentially large tornado on the ground around just south of Waseca right now. And again, if you're in this area, including Waseca, just get to a safe place because this is a dangerous storm that does have a large and destructive tornado associated with it. So again, tornado warning in effect for parts of Waseca into Steele County right now. This tornado likely located in the St. Mary area, but even all the way down to Minnesota Highway 30. There's a lot that's going to be happening here in the next 15 minutes or so. So be on the lookout, be prepared, because this is a powerful storm that is moving in. We have another one, a severe thunderstorm, actually a tornado warning that is also in effect for northern Faribault County. This one includes Minnesota Lake. Winnebago, you are kind of winding down here just a little bit, but we do have actually a little cell with the potential for a little rotation even to the south and west of Winnebago. But we are watching basically this entire area right through here for rotation, potential tornado, and this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes earlier this evening, so it doesn't take much for these to recycle and another tornado to develop. So if you are in this area as well, get to a safe place, because these are dangerous storms that are moving through. I do want to mention that we do have a tornado watch that's also in effect until midnight tonight, and that includes a good chunk of this area as well. Mankato included. New Ulm, they've actually dropped. I mentioned we'd likely see this get whittled away from west to east. New Ulm, Brown County now out of the watch. Mankato still included, Blue Earth County, Waseca County, down toward Fairmont, Blue Earth, Mason City, and areas further to the south and east still in effect here until midnight tonight. We have a tornado watch that remains in effect. Go ahead, Mitch.
I'm just going to pass on a couple of housekeeping notes for you. So number one, you can catch your breath. So yes, you are correct. A couple of those counties did get dropped from the tornado watch. All the tornado warnings that were in effect for Blue Earth County, so that included the eastern and southeastern parts of Blue Earth County and the extreme southern portions of Blue Earth County, those have been allowed to expire. So the tornado warning does continue for Faribault County, that until 7 o'clock, and then the Waseca and Steele County tornado warning, those continue until 7:15. Coming into the newsroom, there are some power outages. XL Energy reporting about 1,400 customers, at least 1,400 customers in the Mankato, St. Clair, Eagle Lake, Jamesville, Madison Lake, and Smiths Mill area without power. Also some reports of some street flooding in the Mankato area here earlier this evening as the heavy rain pushed through the area here earlier this evening. But again, as you and Emily have been talking about, really that focus is on that confirmed tornado that has been reported here earlier this evening near the Winnebago area, and also that confirmed tornado near the St. James area. And you've been talking about your safe place, and of course, everyone obviously pretty much knows we want to try to put as many walls between yourself and the storm as possible. For most folks, that's a basement. If you don't have a basement, that's a small interior room. Maybe that's a closet or a storm shelter under a set of stairs or a bathroom. Those are all excellent storm shelters. You want to get into a room that doesn't have any windows. You want to place as many walls, sturdy walls, as you can between yourself and the storm as possible to protect yourself and others. Again, you want to avoid windows. The basement is always the best, but if you don't have a basement, again, something like a bathroom or a closet, a small interior room on the first floor are certainly the best place that you can go.
Hey, Mitch, I do want to get in here and talk a little bit about this. You see this right in here. We have a large, dangerous, confirmed rain-wrapped tornado just on the south edge, just south of Waseca right now in Waseca County, getting ready to move over to Minnesota Highway 13. Don't panic. Just get to your safe place. That's what you have to do at this point. Get to your basement, lowest level of your home, your storm shelter, wherever you need to go. Now, we talk about being prepared and being ready to throw this severe weather safety action plan into action, and that's what you have to do right now. You see Atico here, Waseca here, Minnesota Highway 13 is right here. Let me get my little line off of there, my circle. So this, sorry, I keep saying Atisco,
yep.
Atisco area, sorry about that. Waseca area to Atisco on Minnesota Highway 13. This is the area, a large, damaging tornado, but it is also rain wrapped. And what does that mean? It basically means that you are not going to be able to see this doggone thing. I mean, it's going to look like a big, when you see the rain coming at you from a distance, it's just going to look like a rain shield. And then once it hits, it's a lot more than that. And so don't be waiting, don't be watching, don't be driving on Highway 13 right now. This is a large, damaging tornado that's on the ground south of Waseca. If you are in Waseca, you're technically not even in this tornado warning. The south side actually is, once you get just south of KEYC's there and on that little curve that takes you out to 14. But really south of Waseca, this area here is where we have a large, damaging tornado on the ground. And if you are there, get to your safe place, take your phone with you, open up your First Alert weather app. You can watch our severe weather streaming coverage there. You can get warnings and alerts there, and you can track things on the radar and wait for this to go by. But at this point, the most important thing you can do is get to a safe place. Large, damaging tornado is on the ground right here between Waseca and Otisco, north of New Richland, although New Richland, you are in this, north of you is actually in this warning, but that's another area we need to concentrate on here as well. Damaging tornado on the ground. I do want to go down here. I don't want to forget what's going on here. We do have a tornado warning that's in effect for Faribault County. I do not have confirmed tornadoes with this particular storm. However, this storm also has the potential to produce tornado. It has a history of producing tornadoes a little earlier in the evening up towards St. James. So this is something that could spawn a tornado at just about any moment as well. So this tornado warning remains in effect. Let me turn the details on here. Tornado warning in effect until 7 p.m. This one's for Faribault, northern Faribault County, near Minnesota Lake, Winnebago, right in between there. Tornado possible. Spotters have reported funnel clouds along with this particular storm as well. We have a big line of thunderstorms that continues to move through from the Twin Cities all the way down to near Fairmont. The most dire situation here. Oh yeah, this particular storm right here near Waseca, there is a large tornado that's on the ground, and they're saying that this is a rain-wrapped tornado. So it's really hard to even get an idea as to what we are dealing with here. But you can see, look at this. This right here is when we start to see those really tight colors together like this on our velocity. You know, we've kind of been talking about how we look for the colors and how the green is air moving toward the radar, the red moving away from the radar. But when you start to see the really bright colors pop up with just a couple of pixels close together like this, this is dangerous. South of Waseca right now, the Otisco area, get to a safe place, get to shelter. We are likely going to see this tornado move across Minnesota Highway 13 in the next few minutes. It's probably pretty close right now, and it's going to continue off to the southeast here in just the next little while. Let me turn the loop on. You can see how all of this has kind of developed and moved, and this is all going to continue to move off to the southeast here over the next little while. Our storm tracker, if we kind of follow this strongest part of the storm, it's going to be in Otisco at 7:02, which is almost right now. Lamond at 7:14, and if it keeps going like it is, Somerset, Summit eventually. But there's a likelihood that this will change direction at least a little bit between now and then. But again, folks near Waseca, south of Waseca, and Otisco right here, time to get to the basement, time to get to a safe place. This is a very dangerous situation. Emily Merz is here checking things out. Mitch Keegan also here. We are on KEYC, keeping an eye on severe storms moving across southern Minnesota. We've been talking about this possibility here for a good chunk of the day. We were talking about it yesterday that we would see some storms develop, and we're kind of in one of those situations where we have a lot of spin in the atmosphere today, and all these storms that are developing really are prime for producing tornadoes, and that's why all of these storms we're keeping a very close eye on here. 2 tornado warnings.
And they did just extend
Oh,
that.
yeah.
The one that's further towards the south now, that one is in effect until 7:30.
Let's see what we got here. This one is Funnel cloud being reported with this one. So this is generally the area of concern now with the potential for producing a tornado, kind of right along Minnesota 109. And this is going to continue to move off to the southeast here, moving along at about 25 or so miles per hour. That's been kind of the pace that everything has been moving along for much of the evening here. And if we keep going like we are, our storm tracker puts this particular storm, at least the strongest part of this storm, near Walnut Lake at 712. If you're in Wells, around 721, Foster at 734, and Alden at around 743. Now, I don't think Alden is in the warning quite yet, but if the storm keeps moving like it is, this will eventually get to you. So about 743, of course, if you're in Alden, just be on guard, be prepared, and be ready, because it's likely that these storms will be moving into your neighborhood fairly shortly. So a brand new updated tornado warning in effect for this storm now. With the new warning in effect until, what did you say it was, Emily? We're in effect here until 7:30. And this includes Wells. Wells, you are included in this. So if you are in Wells, get to your safe place now. This storm is moving in your direction. Tornado warning also continues here for Steele and Waseca County. We have a potential large, dangerous tornado on the ground near Otisco. I'm starting to see, can you check your other radar just to see what's going on here north of New Richland?
Sure.
See if there's just a little bit of I think there's just a weird effect of the radar, but there is definitely a strong storm, no tornado warning in New Richland now, but you're going to get some heavy rain and a whopping of wind and a lot of thunder and lightning here in the New Richland area fairly shortly. But this particular area here, the Tisco area, this is the area we've been watching with that confirmed tornado on the ground, a damaging rain-wrapped tornado in the Tisco area. And this is kind of up and down Minnesota Highway 13, just south of Waseca. Waseca, you are not technically, at least most of Waseca, not in this tornado warning, but still just be ready and be prepared. We're going to be watching things here, and we'll let you know how it develops. But the storm and the rotation seems to be moving a little further, a little more to the southeast with this particular storm. So really anywhere along this line from Waseca all the way down to New Richland, just be ready, because we've had a lot of activity kind of moving through that area and a lot of things going on in the last little while in that particular area. Emily, you have anything to mention?
No further updates as far as I have seen. There have been a couple of possible damage reports, but it's hard to confirm what is potentially tornado damage versus what could just be wind gust damage, which kind of is an important thing to think about with this. Is there's so many elements to these types of dangerous situations. We're watching tornadoes, obviously, but also, even if you're not in the path of that tornado, strong winds, we're looking at hail potentially, and of course, any debris that could be kicked up, whether it's from the tornado or just from the winds associated with that. And like Sean and I have been tracking, we could see on that velocity that it was moving very powerfully, moving very quickly. And there have been reports again of that on the ground. However, it is hard to know for sure if that tornado is actually causing some of that damage that we have been seeing as reported. Another thing worth mentioning here, again, with that storm further towards the south, that storm has been pushed pretty far out as far as how far that ahead that warning is, which again just kind of gives us that indication that this is a strong storm that is expected to remain strong as it continues to push further out towards the east.
Yeah, we have there's a lot going on with this particular storm. I've noticed that some of the tighter, more significant rotation on the radar has loosened up a little bit. That doesn't really mean we can let our guard down at this point, but still a lot of rotation in the Otisco area, New Richland area as well. This is a pretty nasty thunderstorm moving through. Even though you are just outside of the tornado warning, a lot of heavy rain, strong wind going to be moving through that general vicinity as well. For those of you who are just joining us, let's do a quick little recap on this whole situation. We have a line of thunderstorms moving across south central Minnesota right now, and they are producing tornadoes. We have a couple of tornado warnings. The first one in effect here for eastern Waseca, western Steele County. Atisco is the area under the gun right now, and locations to the southeast. But really, there's some pretty rough weather going on from here all the way down 13 to the New Richland area. If you are anywhere on this eastern edge of the tornado warning polygon, get yourself to a safe place. This storm has the history of producing large, damaging, dangerous, rain-wrapped tornadoes that are really, really hard to see. So get yourself to a safe place because this storm continues to move east at around 35 or so miles per hour. You can see one of the things we look for is the red and green, where the red meets the green, and we have a whole big messy area here where we have areas of rotation and potential for tornadoes to be touching down. We have had a tornado that's been on the ground for a while, south of Jamesville over toward Atisco, and now this continues to move off to the southeast. The warning remains in effect. This continues to be a very dangerous storm. If you are in these areas, get yourself to a safe place now. Get into your basement, get to where you need to go, because a large, damaging tornado is still possible. Further south, we have another tornado warning in effect. This one heading right toward the Wells area right now. If you are in Wells, get yourself to a safe place. We do not have a confirmed tornado with this. However, this particular system, this storm, has a history of producing tornadoes. And if there isn't one there now, there could be one there at just about any time, especially in this area right through here. If you are in Wells, this is moving toward you. So get yourself to a safe place. Our storm tracker puts the strongest part of this storm, let me draw it out here, in the Wells area by around 7:23, maybe even a little before that. So, I mean, these storms can fluctuate a little bit when it comes to speed. So be prepared and be ready. We don't have much time. Within about the next 10 to maybe even 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, we could see this storm moving into the Wells area. So if you are in Wells, get yourself to a safe spot because this isn't going to be pretty. It's a nasty storm that's moving your way now. And from what I can tell here, it is starting to intensify a bit. I'm seeing a little more stuff kind of changing with these colors of the red and the green. And so this is definitely a strengthening and powerful storm, Emily, that's moving in. We do have an extension of this tornado warning. This one right here is for, let me update the counties here. This was now for Freeborn, Steele, and Waseca County until 7:45 this evening. And what we have going on here is a severe thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. We have a history of this storm producing large, dangerous, rain-wrapped tornado. So this one is nothing to mess with. And again, kind of what we've been talking about, what will happen with these storms is that a tornado will develop, it will kind of wind itself out, it'll lift, it'll go away for a little while, and then the storm just recycles and produces another tornado. And that's kind of what we've been seeing with these storms here as we've been making our way through this evening. If you are in Ellendale right now, get yourself to a safe place. We've been watching a lot of the rotation in this area in Ellendale. That is one of the spots where we've had a lot of rotation. Let me put the velocity back up here. And for those of you who may be just kind of joining us, this mode of the radar right here that you're looking at, this is the precipitation, the precip mode that shows you the rain and precipitation. This mode is the mode that shows us the wind. And typically we just use the rain to show where the rain is, but on a day like today when we're trying to track severe storms, we want to know what's going on with the wind. And when we see the greens and the reds, that is an indication of the direction of the wind. Anything green is wind moving toward the radar, which the radar's up here in the Twin Cities. Anything red is wind moving away from the radar. So when you get something like this, that indicates rotation, and that's how we see tornadoes with radar. And what we have going on right here is we have these red and green colors very, very close together. And when that happens, That's where we typically see the broader rotation of a thunderstorm, but eventually the tighter and more significant rotation that indicates that there is a tornado touching down. Now, this particular storm produced a large rain-wrapped tornado just in north and west in the Atisco area not too long ago. Right now, and actually I should probably circle even a little more right up through here, we're likely in a bit of a redevelopment phase, but this thing will likely kind of reconfigure itself and put down another tornado here in the next while.